The Burning Man Festival is out there in more ways than one. To get there, you have to travel down a 2-lane highway in the desert. The nearest large city is Reno, Nevada, nearly 2 hours away. As soon as you drive up to the front gate to hand over your ticket, you know you're not in Kansas anymore.
She doesn't really know what she's gonna get. Yeah.
Virgin, Dad!
All right!
She looks
Looks
clean.
like she doesn't really have a clue.
Walk it hard.
She just thinks she does.
I'm a
If you're no longer a virgin, but if you hit it one more time, you can be a prostitute. So go ahead. Go ahead.
And if I do it four?
Burning Man is about anyway. That's everybody doing kind of their own thing. And some of it gets really bizarre, and some of it's just 2 standard deviations off the mean. But it's a fun kind of a festival to express yourself and show the world and everybody else who you are without really caring what the world thinks about you.
Looking down on its clusters of dusty streets lined with Kmart tents, parked cars, and RVs, it looks more like a refugee camp for the middle class living in an underdeveloped country than a vacation destination. Burning Man is located in Black Rock City, a city that is built from nothing each year and returns to nothing. For 1 week, it has a population of 40,000, which makes it the 4th largest city in the state of Nevada.
It's more than I expected it to be. Way more. I was expecting something smaller. All last night, I didn't have my bike ready, so I walked from one end of it to the other and around the entire circle. Huge. It's so much larger and so much more amazing than I thought it would be. So much more artwork, so many more people, so many more bikes, and so many more friendly feelings around here. I could probably bike it or ride it or walk it in the entire week and still not see everything. There's too much to see out here.
So it is a bizarre thing. I mean, if this had been a business plan and we'd gone to bank or to investors and said, okay, we're going to take a big man out to the desert. I mean, who would have listened to that? But the underlying truth of it was that it was something that people desperately needed. That's why they're there.
An interesting aspect of Burning Man is what is called the gift economy.
Would you like a pancake?
Cashless society, and we felt that this was a good way. People getting up in the morning probably wouldn't want to cook or anything, so having pancakes would be a good idea to help out our neighbors.
In a bar economy, right, there's supposed to be some sort of exchange, but there's a negotiation. In a gifting economy, there is no exchange, and it's just if everybody gives without expecting anything in return, then everyone gets. It's a kind of it's a very radical form of commerce, you might say, where everyone gives with no expectation of receiving something in return, and in a sense,
it's not something it's not really practical, except in a situation like this.
No, it's totally impractical. Absolutely impractical. But it's amusing for a week.
Not only is nothing for sale in Black Rock City except coffee and ice, there's no advertising allowed within the city limits. This truck has a comic billboard on its side, and here there's a half-hearted attempt to cover up the van rental logo.
How could you sell this thing out? The very demographic, the customers you're delivering to somebody will walk away. You can't sell it out. Maybe you could hoodwink some corporation into thinking you were delivering them customers.
Who'd buy it?
For a resort city and vacation destination, the weather is not ideal. You are always at the mercy of dust storms with 70-mile-an-hour winds. They can come at any moment without warning.
This group of people here is probably 2 or 3 standard deviations off the mean. This is a very special group of people. Not everybody and his brother comes rolling in here.
In the exact center of Burning Man, on the vast open playa facing the semicircle of streets, at the top of an Art Deco pedestal filled with a maze of artworks, stands the man. Imagine an 8 6-foot crude wooden statue of man is set on fire on a beach in San Francisco, and a few dozen people dance around it. Nearly 2 decades later, the man is several times larger, and 40,000 people dance around the man. Somewhere from then to now, the man, to some, achieves a spiritual significance, and the burning becomes a sacred act. There is no set meaning. Some people regard it as a symbol of some divine being, a transcendent form, or the man, the authority figure holding them down. Some consider it as a figure model on ancient Celtic or American Indians, where the man was burned for a celebration of the harvest. Many just regard it as something to bring all the people together. After the burn, it only gets weirder. Some of the participants dance around the fire and some dare to walk through it, something that can have tragic consequences.
No, like boom, in the center of the fire. And then kind of gets up and falls again, and rolls, and then gets up and falls out.
He's going to be hurting in the morning.
Fucked up, man.
Yeah. There's no perimeter. Like there's not like a fence or anything, so it's like people are free to go in, you know?
That's part of the deal.
That's part of the deal, and that's
the Burning Man freedom.
That's the Burning Man freedom and spirit, and it's really unfortunate for that fellow, but like it also, like, you know, life is like so precious out here, and like we live it to the fullest.
After the burn, controlled fires are set, and people burn whatever they don't want to take out with them, and the creed of without a trace